Check it out. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Good with you. It is your boy Travis Kinley coming back to you with another one at another rest area. Rest area warriors, unite, unite. I am going to take a seat. I'm actually here to execute the first portion of an 8-2 split because there's a ton of traffic ahead of me, man, and I don't want to deal with it, man. I really don't. So I'm gonna chill here for a couple hours, pause my 14, restart it when I'm ready, and then I'll, you know, keep rolling. So I got a subscriber. What is it? His name is Rod, I believe. I think it's Rod. All right, hey, look, if I got your name wrong, forgive me. Give me a second, I'm just setting the camera up so I don't have to hold it. If I got your name wrong, forgive me, but just make sure we're not gonna get tore up by no ants around here, nothing like that. But Rod was like, man, I think it'd be cool if you kind of told your story, you know, kind of like who you are. Here, I'll put the sun behind me. How about it? We'll choose this one. If you told your story, kind of letting us know who you are, where you came from, you know, upbringing, and talk about what led you to Prime. So I thought I'd do that. I was like, well, that's a pretty cool idea, man. Now I got to check out a whole new bench here, make sure no cicadas done took it over. I was like, that's a pretty cool idea. Oh, I won't be at this clip long, boy. Nice and sunny, right? So I thought that was a cool idea, so I thought I would do that. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time over the next few days recording some clips about Travis Kinley and his story. So this is the beginning right here. This clip is just meant to describe the beginning, just Travis kind of very quickly birth to adulthood, and then I'm gonna pause at a key place during adulthood. So Travis Kinley, born June 18th, 1988 in Brooklyn, New York. My mom is from Queens, met my dad, and you know, my family used to live in New York. Well, they decided to come down to South Carolina, in part motivated by not only the desire to move, but a band, a marching band rolling through the Macy's Day Parade in like 89, if I'm correct. A little coincidence. It's almost hard for me to not mention it, but that same band, I was actually a part of that band. And one day in band class, I yawn, I look up, and I'm sitting under the Macy's Day Parade sign, Macy's Day Parade flag that they carried through that parade. So that was coincidence. Nevertheless, they decided to move down to Carolina, and that's where I was raised, right? So I grew up. I will tell you kind of something personal. 3 years old, we just moved to that house, wasn't used to the house. Well, I don't know. I fell off the porch though, fell off the porch, landed on my head, and had, you know, a seizure, and, you know, suffered from seizures for a number of years, for quite some time. Tried a lot of different medications and things. So one night, my mom's like, you know, it's time for me to take my medication. One night, my mom's like, we're not gonna take medication, we're just gonna pray. So I'm like, what is this, a new medicinal method, right? So we pray she doesn't give me my medication, and that's like the last seizure I had. It's like 12 years old, man, 13 years old, talking more than 15 years seizure free, right? So I don't know, that's just a little something. Nevertheless, grew up and graduated high school, tried the college thing out, right? So the first time I tried college, I didn't do very well. I actually quit within like 2 weeks. I was done. Tried computer technology or some field like that, like an associate's degree. I wasn't committed at all. Went to the workforce and instead chose to join the fire department based on an old dream that revived inside of me. So I became a fireman, got hired by the city, was full-time fireman for a number of years. A lot of stuff happened with that, but I truly enjoyed that job. I thought I was going to retire as a fireman or die in a blaze of glory. Now, I used to repeat that, you know, but that's not what happened. Life took another turn, and that's where I'm going to pick this video up next. Life took another turn. So I became a fireman, and I thought that would be like the last job I'd ever have. Never count your chickens before they hatch. At the same time, I was cycling as a as a hobby, you know. Loud truck about to come by. I was cycling as a hobby, and I would like ride my bicycle before work sometimes and stuff, you know, and like road cycling, Lance Armstrong type deal. And one day I was riding my bike before work, and a car struck me from behind on the way to a fire station. Car struck me from behind, and the next car, he says he ran me over. He says he was talking to his wife. He came to visit me in the hospital. He said he was talking to his wife while they were on the way to work. They would carpool. And he said while looking at his wife, he said he saw something yellow out the corner of his eye. He looked forward. That was my bicycle. He saw the bicycle go into the car, and then he saw me go into the car. 1998 Ford Escort. For those of you who know what that looks like, you're like, what? No kid. Who fits under there? Not me. It's a crazy morning. Sustained a number of injuries, including a fractured vertebra. I collapsed my right lung. The joint that connects your foot to your leg, mine broke, had to be reconstructed using a screw. It's a lot of injuries, a lot of road rash. You may notice the scars in my face. That and more. And I couldn't fight fire anymore. Fought my last house fire and didn't even know it. Crazy day, crazy morning. But life really changed after that, right? So I'm in the hospital, I'm praying like, God, what in the world's going on, man? My life was going great, everything was fine. Why this, dude? Why would you even allow this to happen? What's up with the audible, you know, football? And in the hospital room, I heard God call me into vocational ministry, right? Like ministry work where you're not doing it as a second job, you know, or you know, like volunteer work rather. Not that you don't do it as a second job, but like volunteer work, like vocational ministry, like your job type thing. So I was like, all right, let's ride. Not like I got anything else to do these days. So you know, it's just weird looking back on the memories. But so I started doing that, started going to college, moved back to my home city, you know, started working in churches, things of that nature. And that was great. My network really expanded and diversified, learned a lot, finished a couple degrees at a couple different schools, started a graduate degree, learned that I love to deliver sermons, and there's probably nothing else I'm as you know, gifted at. Like, that is definitely my primary gift, is just communicating and the delivery, the preparation and delivery of sermons. Just not that I'm like, you know, perfect, but I don't do nothing else. Not like that. It's just different. It's like some of it's just very different. It's literally like a different Travis than you see on YouTube. It's like this guy that is so hot and high. Like, man, I'm like in a zone, man. It's like, at times it's like outer body in a way. Like, it is literally not me, it is him, you know, speaking. So, but anyways, so that's what happened with the fire service. And then I start ministry work, and I do that for a while. I don't even know, 8 to 10 years or something, I think. 8 or 9, something like that, right? So then I'm doing that. But then another turn gets made. We'll get to that in a sec. All right, and we're back. Same loves, just about 12 hours later. So what happened after that? So I heard God called me into ministry. I have people in my life who are kind of affirming that, hey, I think you're called into ministry, and that's what I do. Right, so during this time, so me and Christina met when I was, I don't know, 19, 20 years old, maybe 20. I think 20. I think I met Christina when I was 20. And like, we met at my first job at this restaurant. And we were dating for a while. But then I started acting stupid. So when I was in the fire department, I started drinking, then I started drinking heavier, and then I started drinking heavier than heavier. You get my drift? But she wasn't feeling it. So she broke up with me, started dating some other guy who didn't win the race, if you know what I'm saying. Get out of the way, truck coming. But all right, so then during the time after the bicycle accident, you know, she came back to your boy, son. You know what I'm saying? Came back to your boy. Whether it was out of pity or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. She still came back to your boy. So me and Christina get back together while I'm in a, not like, you know, shortly after the hospital and everything, and physical therapy and everything else. So then it was during this time while I was working in ministry that Addison was born, my oldest daughter. One for the motorcycle clip. If you've seen that clip, that's one of the coolest clips. Next to me, Ross, and Rye. But anyway, me, Johnson's Logic, and Rye. You know what? I'm tired. Johnson's Logic would like me to stop using his real name. So every time you see myself, correct me, because I'm trying to have respect out of Johnson's Logic. Just let that man be, let him live. You don't want to be called his government name. It's just, nevertheless, that's when Addison was born. I also, during that time, so quick, how Addison was born. Not how, I mean, you know how. But almost the why. So while working in ministry, one of the things I did was I worked like alongside now a good friend of mine in outreach, right? In which case I traveled to Haiti a handful of times and had a great time, man. I think we'd stay like 7 to 10 days or something like that. Had a great time, fell in love with these children, and it just made me feel like, man, I really want to have a child of my own. So like maybe on my second or third trip, on my second trip, I think the third Addison had just been born. On my second or third trip, I was like, babe, I really want to have a baby. And she was with it. That's where Addison came from. Nevertheless, you know, a lot of really great stuff happened. And this is where we get to, well, how'd you get to Prime? Let's go walk over and let's take a cappuccino break. Oh, sorry. Let's take a cappuccino break. So, I'll tell you a quick thing, man. I was gonna show y'all my favorite drink at Love's, but it's too late because I made it already. That's delicious, man. So So a lot of Loves have this cinnamon roll cappuccino, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It is ridiculous how delicious it is. This isn't it though. This is caramel something. Caramel, can't remember. It's caramel something because they didn't have cinnamon roll. But yesterday I was at a Speedway that had blueberry crumble. I mean, it's a great way to start a day, man. With some tasty, sweet, diabetes-inducing drink. Fuel line filling up already, man. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I got to get fuel too. I'm about to finish this, hang out with my drink, and then right before my time come back, I'm getting in line. Or right after my time come back. So I'm sorry, because you're not gonna fuel before your time comes back. That was a ridiculous statement. All right. So this is where we get to, you know, first, why trucking? Second, why Prime? First, why trucking? So I've been working kind of in the ministry field for a while. And honestly, hey, this is just my perspective on the whole thing, man. I'm not coming for anybody. I've got no hard feelings towards anybody. I'm living my life, man. I don't got time for bitterness and unforgiveness. However, it is my perspective on the matter that while working in ministry, there are people that would dangle carrots over my head. You know, if you do this, you'll make it. Well, now if you do this, you'll make it. If you do this, you'll make it. But it was like, I was never really making it. Feel me? Well, I got tired of feeling like that. I got really tired of feeling like that. As I got closer to making this decision, then I started working for this nonprofit, and that was a big relief in terms of the carrot game, because the carrot game wasn't played there. So that was a huge relief for me. I needed to stop the carrot game. I played the carrot game for a little while, and I realized nothing's really popping off here, man. You know, as far as where I am from, I was just like, nothing's happening here. I'm pretty certain, you know, I got 2 girls now, married, you know, we done bought a house. I mean, hey, we're growing up, dude. I don't have time to just be playing the carrot game, trying to make it somewhere where I'm not making it. All right? At this pace, you know, basically I thought to myself, at this pace, this is not working for what I have working. The pace that I'm moving at, I was just like trying to be sensitive to other people who may watch this, and, you know, just trying to be sensitive to everybody. You know, the bottom line was this: the job market for my location was not conducive for my specific skill set and personality. That's what I mean. The job market in my location was not conducive for my skill set and personality. Maybe my skill set, but definitely not my personality. Not to really work full-time and get paid. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we hungry in my house too. So I said, listen, I need a second skill, because the only thing I've ever went to school for was religion and ministry. And with those disciplines, you can't go into human resources at, you're all in. So I said, I need a second skill, right? If I'm gonna wait for the job market in my location to change, you know, if I even think there's a possibility that the job market in my location will change and then maybe I can re-enter ministry again, then I need a second skill to hold me over until that happens. You feel what I'm saying? Me and Christina weighed trucking for about 18 months before I came to Prime. 18 months, real talk. You know, it kept coming up. It would come up, I'd think about it, and then something would happen that would distract me, you know, whatever the case may be. Maybe I go to Haiti or something would happen that would distract me. And then after a distraction was over, it'd come up again in the household, and I think about it, about to pull the trigger, and then boom, you get a raise at work, and that's the distraction. And then it'd come up again, and, you know, I think about it. Well, finally, it was like, dude, we're not moving anywhere, man. And we've been thinking about this for so long. So we said, you know what? Let's do it, man. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. After, I mean, heavy consideration, after talking with friends and mentors multiple times, man, look at the sun coming up. Great day, y'all. Look at that. Ooh, the shot with the peak in the sun. That's tight. So yeah, after talking with friends, mentors, just people I really admired or looked up to. Ooh, that was a nice shot too. Let's go back to that. Right there, boom. Oh, I want to get back in the shadow. So it's really the truck you're looking at. Let me just get out the picture for a second. Might end up screenshotting that. But you know, after talking with people, I realized, dude, just pull the trigger, man. Just because you're doing something different, you know, it doesn't mean you lack faith. You know, it took a lot of faith for me to leave everything and come out here. Just because you're doing something different doesn't mean you lack faith, or just because you feel like, well, I never really felt called into trucking the way I felt called into ministry, and I sure don't, you know, I sure don't feel the same while driving a truck as I do when I'm like delivering a sermon, you know. But it doesn't mean you lack faith. It took faith for me to come out here. It took faith for me to walk away from, you know, or at least put on hold, put on pause, whatever the case. It took faith for me to not preach anymore. It took faith for me to tell my church I was leaving to become a truck driver. It took faith for me to tell my boss at the nonprofit, hey, look, I really got to do this, man, because if I don't, I'm always going to wonder where me and my family could have been. You know what I mean? Where we would have been had I just left and came out here. So that's why trucking. All right, I'm going to Y Prime next. So, the big question, why Prime? Chose Prime for a few reasons. I'm at Iowa 80 now, in case you were wondering. Chose Prime for a few reasons. Reason number one, money. Let's be real here. Large companies are doing well. Let me get behind the wall so you can hear me. I know it's a little windy. If you got a large company, you're doing well. I mean, it doesn't make sense that a large company would not be doing well. That doesn't make any sense at all. Reason number two, as far as money goes, Prime had a very competitive training pay structure. Money. I'm leaving a job. My family still needs to be supported. I liquidated a horse farm in order to come out here, but I didn't want to blow all that cash just being in training. I would have loved to keep it in reserves, which I did. I was able to because of Prime's training pay, which just increased, in case you haven't seen Life Arise video or heard from one of us. So it's money. It's all about the money. I knew a guy that worked at Prime, well, still works at Prime, my trainer. Money. He told me about the money. I saw the YouTube videos, the money, man. All right, number two, equipment. Prime recycles their equipment after 3 years. That's cool, man. I'm guaranteed not to be in a junk truck. Who wants to be in a junk truck? It's always breaking down, right? You've seen those YouTube videos. Well, I didn't want to be that guy. Trucks that recycle after every 3 years sounds like a pretty good deal. All right, that was number two. Number three, I'm not listing these in order of priority, but just my thought process is why Prime. Number three, one time I did a very small research assignment. Shouldn't even be called a project. I did a research assignment on websites and how influential companies seem to always be directly connected to strong websites. Whereas usually the less influence a company has, the less information you can get on their website, the more questions you have after walking away from their website. But usually companies that are large and influential, you can go to their website and have all of your questions answered. Well, that was the case about Prime. The website's sharp. Every question answered. Didn't walk away with a bunch of, well, what's the money like? What kind of trucks do you have? Yada, yada, yada. Almost every question, to be frank, almost every question I'm asked, you can find on the website. That spoke volumes to me. That told me that, they have people who are managing their website and they're diligent about keeping updated and accurate information on it. That speaks volumes about not just their website, but the way they run the business. It speaks volumes about organizational structure. I wanted to come trucking, but I came from the business community. So I'm attracted to business-minded people. And I could tell just by Prime's digital footprint that they were business-minded people. They weren't just out here, dirt, I've got to change a tire. Yeah, it's important, don't get me wrong, but that's not where it ends. It doesn't end in hauling freight. I can tell they want to do the best they can do. They want to be the industry-leading company. Check it out. She thinks my tractor sexy. But they want to be the best that they can be daily. I think that's awesome. All right, that was another reason I chose Prime. I also chose Prime because of the lease walk away. I said to myself, if I want to do a lease, I'd prefer to be at a place where I can do a lease walk away, because that's a peep behind me, y'all. This job's fun, man. But I want to be at a place where I can do a lease and have minimal commitment, minimal risk, but still test the water. All right, number 5 or 6 or whatever I'm on, terminals. You can tell how much a company appreciates their drivers according to how much money they invest in driver amenities. Whether that's trucks, terminals, employees to take care of drivers. Prime has millions and millions of dollars invested in driver amenities. Just had a new Salt Lake City terminal revamped. Not new, but just had the Salt Lake City terminal revamped. Renovated. I mean, more than just renovated, actually constructed in some areas, in many areas. I mean, I chose Prime because for many different reasons, but if I had to put it, in just a couple words, they're a top-notch company. Listen, this one's for the haters. They say it's lonely at the top. We expect the haters at Prime. Okay, that's why when y'all type on my comments, I just be like, thanks for watching, exclamation mark with a smiley face or something. Dude, thanks for watching. Appreciate you hitting the view for me. Like, that's one more view. I don't have nothing to say to you, man. I don't have nothing to prove to you. Taking care of my bills, man. Feeding my family. Making major advances in my life. Completing goals that I set out to come here. I don't have nothing to say to y'all. It's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top. When you're the best, you're gonna have haters. Come on. Tom Brady, ring after ring after ring. Still half the country hate him. Come on, cuz. That's why I chose Prime. I chose trucking because I needed a second skill. I really needed to pump revenue into my household, and I'm doing it in a major way. In a major way. And I chose Prime because they were the top-notch option for me to do that. And now I'm out here getting it done. If you're watching this, you want to get it done. I'm telling you, Prime's a great place to be. I don't down other people, man, but Prime's a great place to be. Volvo, shout out to Ross. Prime's a great place to be, man. Is it perfect? No, man. No place is perfect. Anywhere you got people, it's not perfect. That's my wife, she lives with me. Anywhere you got people, it's not perfect, man, but Prime's an awesome place to be. Trucking is a very rewarding industry to work in. If you got goals, and it seems like you want to fast track yourself, you can do that out here. You can fast track yourself. I'm 3 weeks shy of a year, man. And I'm on the fast track right now to things I desire in my life. You know, I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you, dude, the opportunities are crazy. They're ridiculous, man. Endless, limitless, seriously, limitless. Like, the jobs out here are plentiful. Everybody's looking for a driver. Pay structures are going up everywhere, man, everywhere. I'm telling you, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. I feel like I could say anything on this video, but if you're not ready, you're just not ready. If you're not ready to make the jump, if you're not ready to take that leap of faith, if you're not ready to jump off the cliff, if you're not ready, you're not ready. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can say. I can guarantee you this. Every day, I told you it took me 18 months. Every day you wait is a day you're missing out, man. One person said this to me and I agree with them. It's that I wish it didn't take me 18 months to get here. I wish the first time I thought about it, because the first time I thought about it, I chose Prime. I wish the first time I thought about it, I just left and came out here, yo. I'd be like 2.5 years deep. 2.5 years deep. Further. Ooh, look at this peak, y'all. I love being a Peterbilt boy, I ain't gonna lie to you, but can you see it? I can't even see if you can see it. It's so bright out here. Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. All right, man. Yeah, he's a cool guy, man. He knew I was recording him. He's a real cool guy. Anyways, I'm about to eat lunch, man. I got 300 more miles. I can chill out, deliver, pick up the next load. That's my life, though, man. That's like my very brief coverage of my life, man. So much has happened in my life. Like, I wish I could tell you it all, but I'm telling you, this would be like an hour video. But I'm glad to be here. Y'all when I tell you I'm glad to be alive, man. I'm glad to be alive. I could have been dead, man. 1998 Ford Escort, white in color. I could have been dead, man. But I'm here. 10 toes. 10 toes. I'm glad to be here, yeah. Very glad to be here. I love my wife, love my kids. Hoping when I get home, my daughter's gonna do a little video with me. It's gonna be great. Look, y'all, I gotta go. Checking out. Find you somebody to love. I love y'all. Don't forget, it's not about what you believe, it's why you believe it. Live free.